Pissing in the moat? Oh, you're dead. It's gonna be a right good levy, big and beautiful. Stop your yapping and start digging. Gonna need 3 buckets of nails and a tub full of pegs. It's gonna be a right good levy, big and beautiful. Stop your yapping and start digging. Gonna need 3 buckets of nails and a tub full of pegs. Don't you worry yourself, your grace. We'll get it done in no time.
Your Grace,
Meave heard Reynard call out from behind her.
a scout's returned. Claims to bear an urgent message.
The Queen halted her horse and waited for the soldier to reach her. He abandoned all formalities and jumped straight to the point.
Milady, a black-clad caravan, armed to the hilt, rides this way. To believe the rumours, they're hauling a load of war loot back south.
Reynard gave the soldier new orders, then turned to Meave.
Sounds like a prime opportunity to replenish our coffers.
Indeed. An opportunity we cannot ignore.
The Queen said.
Your unit will block their path. Gascon and his men will hide in the woods and strike their flanks, while I shut the trap, attacking from behind.
Their plan established, Meave gave the signal to move out. A brief moment later, the fight began.
We must drive them into the ambush! Follow me!
You'll never take me alive!
life is mine now.
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
You mad? Don't shake that!
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Wise choice.
We're close, Your Grace.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Order!
Shame to let this beauty go to waste.
Sure took your time. Thought you'd forgotten about me.
Now!
Hey? Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
Discipline shall bring us victory!
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
To the front yet again.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
This could hurt. Ach, Scheiß! In time!
The chase is on!
To the front yet again.
And just when you thought things were about to get dull.
Caravan is ours, milady.
Their plan ended in success, the Nilfgaardians crushed. As soon as the dust had settled, Niamh tore the canvas off the nearby wagons to see what precious loot they had so carefully guarded. She expected to find gold, jewels, or exquisite silks. Instead, she saw dirty, terrified figures bound in chains.
Slaves.
Reynard muttered.
Their precious cargo. Slaves. Behold the glorious future the Empire brings us.
Niamh ordered the prisoners freed and discovered they were Edirnian peasants on their way to dig canals and dredge swamps as forced laborers.
You are free. You can return to your homes,
The Queen said. If she expected words of thanks and gratitude, she was in for a disappointment.
What homes, my lady?
Asked one of the peasants, holding back tears.
Took our land, they did. Nothing we have now.
Not a rag to wear, not a crumb to eat. Leave us, we die. Soldiers don't do us in, monsters will. Assuming hunger and cold don't get us first.
The Queen was about to answer when she heard Gascon, standing behind her, whisper,
Before you make any rash promises, please, some maths. Dozens of hungry mouths to feed, and weak bodies to defend, twice as many tired legs to wait for, while war rages all around. You do realize you cannot save everyone.
I attacked this caravan hoping to fill my coffers.
the Queen said.
Instead, I have only secured a new drain upon them. But very well. In these ill times, we Northerners must help our own. Women and children in the wagons. The men shall march alongside to the rear. I warn you, if you cannot keep pace, we shall leave you by the roadside. Move out!
The Queen's gaze momentarily caught the eyes of an old woman her soldiers were helping onto a wagon. Tears of gratitude poured down her soot-stained face, across hard lines left by years of destructive toil. Niamh was convinced she had done the right thing.
talk to you in a little bit. What's up? Really? Oh, that sounds okay.
As Meve neared Gatburg, her eyes were drawn at once to the black pennants flying over its palisades. Nilfgaard's pennants. Her scouts found the city's buildings intact, its streets unstained by blood. Black-clad soldiers could be seen guarding storehouses holding loot pillaged from nearby settlements. Curiously, these soldiers were very few in number.
The gates stand open. Clearly the Imperials expect no attack, giving us the element of surprise. We can take back the city and
make off with the gold.
Gascon finished. Meve hated Nilfgaard and needed gold to maintain her army. Two very good reasons to attack Gatburg. Her decision made, she ordered her men to prepare for battle. Now the invaders would have to try their hand at defending.
Larven! Essay to nothing!
Fuck these motherfuckers. Attack weaker units.
They feel at home here, the Nilfgaardians. Let's show them they're wrong.
Catch!
New orders? No?
Yeah.
I smell a leak.
Must be an important lesson in this. But
No signs of fighting! These Horsens must have opened the gates for the Blacklads.
Be a shame to let this beauty go to waste.
wise choice.
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
Oh.
Order!
Life is mine now.
That bit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Order will triumph. It must triumph.
How did that incantation go?
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Ach, Scheiß! In 2!
To the front yet again.
Quiet, or the Kommissar will hear.
They feel at home here, the Nilfgaardians. Let's show them they're wrong.
Enough chit-chat. Draw your weapon.
New orders? No?
Discipline shall bring us victory!
Watch your heads!
There's been a mistake. I'm no mage.
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
No signs of fighting. These Horsens must have opened the gates for the Blacklads.
We'll catch 'em all!
Wise choice.
Hey?
Order!
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
life is mine now.
Praise be to the great sun!
That bit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Ha!
That was nothing, the spell works.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Quiet, or the commissar will hear. Ach, Scheiß! In Trade!
And just when you thought things were about to get dull.
Ha!
Off to the front yet again.
Ah,
The battle's won, Your Majesty.
The Battle of Gatburg ended in Meave's victory, much to its inhabitants' displeasure. While she examined the Nilfgaardian storehouses, the city's mayor, an elderly gentleman with a walrus moustache, requested a private audience.
Your Grace, I am old. Kill me, you'll merely save my gout the trouble. So I'll be frank. You've but few men. You'll not spare a one to defend the city. When you ride off, the Imperials will retake Gatburg, peer into their looted storehouses, and seek revenge. You will be far off, while we shall be oh so terribly near.
The old man creaked down onto his knees and gripped the hem of the Queen's coat with knobby fingers.
Your Majesty, I beg you, leave the gold, or the streets of Gatburg will flow with the blood of our women and children.
Meave contemplated what to make of the fellow. Should he be praised for his forethought and concern for his townsmen, or condemned for cowardice and insolence? Black Rayla, however, had no such doubts.
Traitors all. Small wonder the town's untouched. Must have opened the gates wide for the southern scum. Now they want us to let them fill their pockets with plundered gold.
Neve stood before one of the chests, filled to the brim with gold. She slammed its lid shut with a bang.
The gold stays. Every coin.
She said,
In exchange, I wish you to promise when the moment arrives, when Nilfgaard is on the retreat, you will take up arms and stick them in their black-clad backs.
The old man stared for a long while into Meave's cold eyes, then merely nodded his head in silence.
If we show them there's gold to be had, they could in turn show us mercy.
Enough chit-chat. Draw your weapon.
Nothing personal, I assure you.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Ha!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Discipline shall bring us victory! Watch your heads!
What do you want of me?
Hey?
Coin never stinks, no matter how rank the pouch.
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
Opened its gates to the Black Lads, surrendered without a fight. They take the young.
Was here, just a week past.
One bolt. Give me a target. Arbalist at your command. Armor won't save.
Left, right, left, right.
One bullet's all I need.
Look to the high road. The earth furrowed by wheels, hooves. The Black Clouds went at Rosberg with all their strength. An ominous sign.
For Nilfgaard, I'd say. The fortress boasts 2 new towers, a deeper moat, gate of wrought iron. It cannot be taken. Don't like this.
And just when you thought things were about to get dull.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away. Bigger they are, easier they are to target. Thing about slings, they hide well.
There's been a mistake. I'm no mage.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
Cursed traitors.
Catch!
Quick and painful this'll be.
If the ring won't come off, just take the whole finger.
I smell a leak.
Tell me you jest. What do you want of me?
You mad? Don't shake that!
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
I'll fight to my last breath.
That bit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Discipline shall bring us victory!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
I smell a leak. Don't shake that!
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth? Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
I saw them. No other way.
Don't like this.
What do you want of me?
This could hurt.
Her Majesty is exceptional.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
We'll catch 'em all!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Coin never stinks, no matter how rank the pouch.
happened here?
Sadly, it was Rayla who met with surprise. 100-yard gap gaped in the unbreachable walls of Rosberg. The fortress itself was aflame, spewing black smoke into the sky.
I don't... How? It can't be!
There was no time to consider her question, for Nilfgaardian scouts had spotted Meave's company. The Queen knew battle was inevitable, so she gave the signal to form a defensive line, then drew her blade.
Your Grace, Nilfgaardian fighters remain in the city.
Hey?
That was not in the spell books.
Don't like this.
Off to the front yet again.
Bloody Horsens. They'll pay for this.
Catch! Quiet, or the Commissar will hear.
I smell a leak.
Ugh! Scheiß! In tray!
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth? I've hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Off to the front yet again.
I refuse to believe it. The king could not have died here.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Quiet, or the Commissar will hear.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Quick and painful this'll be.
Watch for Demoven's banners! If he's here, we must find him!
The Lyrians met one note of luck in this song of woe. Rosberg had fallen, yes, but the Nilfgaardians, not expecting reinforcements from the south, had stationed only a small detachment to hold it. Meve led her men to victory and retook the fortress. Or rather, what was left of it. What they did not demolish during their assault, the Nilfgaardians burnt once inside the city. Countless charred corpses of both defenders and peasants seeking shelter from the invaders lay among the blackened ruins. Some had tried to shield their children from the fire with their own bodies, to no avail.
Gods be damned!
The Queen cried, pounding her fist against the wall. Meve was about to give the order to move on when she caught a stifled whimper coming from a pile of rubble. Her soldiers ran to the rescue, their bare hands digging through the fiery bricks.
Here! He's alive!
The man they pulled from the ruins had suffered horrible burns. His face was a stew of seared flesh and pus-filled boils, and he reeked of burnt meat. Seeing Black Rayla, the poor soul staggered to his feet and lifted a shaking hand in salute.
Engineer Lieutenant Xavier Lemons, reporting for duty.
Medic! Send for a medic!
Lemons! What the devil's happened?
I know not. East Tower, I led the defense. Heating oil to tan Nilfgaardian hides. A catapult struck. The cauldron tipped, burst into flames. The rest, I cannot say.
The fortress fell.
Fell? Damned Scoia'tael.
What was that?
Our preparations were perfect. A month, 2 we could have lasted, but traitors were among us. Elves, dwarves planted charges on the buttresses. An explosion shook the tower, a hole gaped in the wall. Our men threw themselves in, filling the breach.
Vermin, filthy, rotten vermin.
I know you suffer, soldier, but Queen Meve wishes to meet with your sovereign, Demavend. We must know what's become of him.
Gone, luckily. He oversaw the preparations, then returned to Aldersburg. 3 days past.
Then let us do the same. Reynard, prepare our departure.
Hold your grace. Did anyone survive? Anyone at all?
The Nilfgaardians might have taken prisoners. There's hope.
How could they? An entire detachment? An entire city? The animals.
Soldier, my medics will tend to you as best they can. Then we can escort you home if...
This is my home, your grace. Rosberg, I beg you. Let me join your company. Let me exact revenge.
I respect your fighting spirit, good man. But in your state...
Your grace, I can hold neither shield nor sword, but I can still fight in my own way. I'm an engineer. I build siege towers, ballistae, bridges, whatever you wish. I pray, grant me a chance.
Such pain, such ferocity resounded in Xavier's rasping, distorted voice that Meve could not refuse his plea. Once the medics had bandaged his wounds, Meve's men set out towards Aldersburg, following Demavend and the Nilfgaardians. At one point in their journey, Black Rayla rode up next to Meve. The warrior's lips were a thin line, bitten to blood.
Hell yeah.
Milady, the road to Aldersburg leads through Moulderwood, where Eldain Scoia'tael prowl. Same filth who killed my men and delivered Rosberg to the Black Butchers.
Rayla breathed deeply to steady her furious, shaking voice.
Please, milady, I ask you upon the holies, let us find them and destroy them.
Meve gave a slight nod. It seemed the road to Aldersburg would prove long and full of challenges.
Jackie Elderberg.
pity Willem is not with us. Were he to... A pity Willem is not with us. Were he to see what lies before our eyes, caught a whiff of the burnt bodies, perhaps he would see with whom he now consorts, whom he allowed in our home with nary a fight.
If it be your majesty's wish, I shall send a rider to the prince with her.
I wish nothing of the sort. I will not correspond with the enemy.
Damn, boo-boo. See you. This is a waste of fucking money.
Dwarves breach the walls, ploughing traitors.
Where's the king?
Dwarves breach... Dwarves breach the walls, ploughing traitors.
Maeve's ears caught the sound of a ruckus coming from the camp.
Thieves! Inglet! A pox upon you all!
It was her quartermaster hurling oaths at the peasants she had freed from the Nilfgaardian slave convoy. A few had stolen supplies under the cover of darkness and escaped into the woods. Terror and dread gripped the other freed prisoners. Maeve mulled over what to do with them, and Reynard, as always, offered some advice.
'Tis high time they went off on their own, your grace. They are too great a hindrance. They slow our march, divert our soldiers from more important tasks. And now this.
Gascon was listening to their conversation. Maeve shot him a questioning look.
I opposed taking them in. So, for consistency, I now oppose forcing them to leave. We made their miserable lives our responsibility, did we not? Well then, that is a burden we cannot simply shrug off.
Let us not mince words. We cast off these peasants now, they shall die.
Maeve said in the end.
Let them stay. But I want them watched. They cause any more trouble, military justice they shall face. Understood?
The freed prisoners sighed with relief. The infantrymen assigned to watch over them, however, grumbled their disapproval of the Queen's decision.
It is an army, not a shelter,
they said. Maeve's ears surely caught the complaint. But the Queen had never let the opinions of others guide her in such matters, trusting only her own judgment.
Not liking the looks of this,
Gascon said, furrowing his brow. Maeve followed his gaze. Before them, beside the road, stood a hut with a scorched thatch roof.
Why?
Huts abandoned, yet dried fruit and mushrooms hang from the eaves. Famine raging all around and no one's been tempted? I'd send a scout if I were you.
The Queen did as Gascon suggested, and sent 3 infantrymen to reconnoiter. They entered the hut and found only silence, that was soon broken by a blood-curdling growl. The soldiers ran out at full speed, tripping over their own legs. Niamh drew her sword, convinced a horde of neckers or ghouls would soon attack. But her fears proved unfounded. Instead of monsters, out of the hut came a shaggy dog, a torn scrap of fabric clutched in its teeth.
Milady!
One of the soldiers began, his face red with embarrassment and his hands covering a hole in his breeches.
Was dark as a well inside, and that hound, it jumped out at us all of a sudden, biting it and snapping.
Bad boy,
Gascon said with a smile, then pulled a hunk of dried sausage from his bag. Bought by this generous offering, the dog calmed down at once. Further examination showed the dog was the hut's only resident. Like many others in Aedirn, its owners had disappeared without a trace. Their loyal mutt still guarded the premises, waiting for his master's return.
Let's take him with us,
Gascon said.
Otherwise, he'll die here, of his own hunger or someone else's.
A watchful sentry like this could prove useful in our camp,
said the Queen.
Fine, he can join. But he shall need a name.
How about Reynard?
Proposed Gascon, a cheeky grin smeared across his face.
That way, he'll come when you call, sit on command, and always be a heel. Always heel, that is.
Watch your words,
said Reynard, hand tightly gripping the hilt of his sword.
or you'll learn I'm not at all as tame as you believe.
Enough, both of you. That's an order. As for you...
The Queen took a good look at the dog, who still had a scrap of fabric in his teeth.
Since it seems you've a taste for the cloth of the nether regions, I dub you... Knickers. Will that do?
The dog wagged its tail vigorously, as if thoroughly pleased with its new name. Niamh's company marched off, a furry new recruit richer.
How could you pass? How are you gonna pass that? Literal just doge. Where's he at? That one sucks.
Your Majesty, I've been meaning to thank you for allowing me to join your ranks.
Certainly, Xavier. I welcome all foes of Nilfgaard to march beneath my banner. But what did the field surgeon say? Have you not resumed work too soon?
I've strength enough to wield a hammer, though my scars still burn, and fiercely so. My lady, I've seen folk turn and frown at the very sight of me. If my appearance disgusts you, I can...
Nonsense. The Nilfgaardians, not you, should be ashamed. You've no reason to hide, no reason to cower.
Thank you, my lady. It means a great deal to hear that.
Tell me about
You've
yourself.
long served in King Demoven's army, haven't you?
Yes, Your Grace.
Why enlist
Shut
at
up.
all? What prompted you to do so?
The king needed engineers. I answered the call.
Not terribly talkative, are you?
I can build any bridge, any ballista, but to talk, well, it hurts to talk.
I see. Well, do not worry. I prefer deeds to words, in myself and others. Other matters await my attention. We shall speak later.
As you wish, my lady.
Yes? This Eldane. Could you tell me about him?
He should hang.
I'd hope to hear advice that will be useful to us in battle.
First of all, you can't rightly trust the bastard. He doesn't respect our laws, doesn't share our morals. The king once dispatched an envoy to Eldane, despite my advice to the contrary. Found the envoy the next day, eyes gouged out, shaft of his white flag jammed down his throat.
So, diplomacy's clearly not the wisest course. But what of battle? What tactics does he employ?
Like all elves, he's a worm. Avoids open confrontation, sets ambushes. Attacks from the shadows, from midst the trees. It would be best to burn this whole forest to the ground, deprive him and his folk of cover, any place to hide.
Sounds rather drastic. Like tossing the babe out with the bath.
Believe me, they'd not hesitate to do the same to us. Not for a moment.
Rayla, how are you holding up?
Not certain I understand what you mean.
All Edirn is aflame. Nilfgaard's banners fly over its cities. Don't tell me you're not troubled.
Of course I'm troubled. I stationed at Rosberg for 5 years. Knew all on the crew there by name. But that's war. That's its nature. No sense bemoaning it.
I see. Just know if ever you wish to talk.
I won't. But I do appreciate your concern, ma'am.
I must go.
Milady, they're an odd... if a troubadour paid us a visit, wouldn't that be something?
This could hurt.
Stop your yapping and start digging.
Gonna need 3 buckets of nails and a tub full of pegs.
Life had me ploughed, now here I'm marching proud.
Niamh and her companions neared the Moulderwood, a dense, ancient forest of trees whose tangled branches had witnessed the conjunction of the spheres. It was not until King Vidamont's day that a road was finally carved through the primeval thicket, significantly shortening the journey from Rosberg to Aldersburg.
Even when peace reigns, danger rules this road.
Rayla said.
Now no one dares travel it.
At the edge of the wood by the road stood an enormous willow. Its branches swept down to cover its trunk, looking for all the world like long tresses shrouding a woman's face. Niamh had an ill premonition. She did not like the sickly sweet aroma wafting from this tree, nor the metallic buzzing of insect wings. She sent a scout to investigate. He drew aside the drooping branches and stumbled back. There were men bound to the tree, covered in sap oozing from gashes in its trunk. Its heavy scent had attracted swarms of insects, flies, wasps, bees, and beetles. They seethed over the bound men, crawling in and out of their ears and nostrils.
Eldain welcomes us to his wood,
Rayla whispered. Niamh stepped towards the tree and saw the men stuck to it were all still alive. Those the elves had caught recently writhed and howled for rescue. Those hanging longer merely followed the queen with half-crazed, bloodshot eyes.
Well? Are you to stand there all day?
Niamh screamed to her dumbstruck Lyrians.
Free them! At once!
Her soldiers needed no more prompting and set about sawing at the ropes with their blades. As soon as they had freed the first captive, before even a word of thanks could be uttered, a flaming streak soared through the air and stuck in the tree. The oozing resin burst into flames, engulfing the prisoners as well as the soldiers who had come to their aid. Elder speech battle cries rang out from the woods as elven warriors launched their attack.
Nilkampsia! It's a trap!
Cried Reynard.
Defend the Queen!
Keep your heads in the fight! They'll seek to blind us with shock and awe!
Nay, Dwan van Kamest.
I saw them, no other way!
My pain serves a purpose.
Sod it. Sod it all.
This could hurt. Watch your heads!
None shall tread on us! Kill them! Kill them all!
Rabbit the white of an eye from half a league away.
The storm is coming. Let's enjoy the weather while we still can.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Everything all right?
Company! Forward march!
What do you want of me?
Thing about slings, they hide well.
If anyone asks, you've not seen me.
Feed you to the crows!
Hey?
And just when you thought things were about to get dull.
This is elven land, Dwan, upon which your kind dies.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Ha!
Don't let them regroup! Finish off the wounded!
The battle done, Meve surveyed the carnage, her breath still ragged. The thick stench of blood, sap, and ash she sucked in made her stomach churn and head swoon.
The Scoia'tael. I'd heard of their cruelty, but...
The Queen said, sheathing her sword.
But never have I countenanced a thing like this.
Black Rayla, who had just extracted her blade from between an elven gorilla's ribs, smiled darkly.
Worst is yet to come, my lady.
The Queen regrouped her forces and marched into the Moulderwood. The Lyrians sang none of their usual marching songs. Instead, they walked in silence, eyes darting constantly to their flanks.
Hear that? Nightingales. Unmindful of war, they sing on.
Those are no birds, my lady. Just Scoia'tael scouts use animal cries to communicate. Tell the men to hold to the road, my lady. Anyone wanders in the trees, they don't come out.
Maeve's path took her to the village of Iconfurt. Unlike most settlements in the area, not a single human dwelled here. Instead, only elves and dwarves sat on its porches and stared at the passing Lyrians with clear aversion. Not a single greeting was extended to their allies in arms. Not a single peddler tried to hawk their wares. The only sound was that of snapping shutters and slamming doors.
Something's amiss,
Rayla said, furrowing her brow.
Order a halt, my lady, and give me a moment to look around.
You've a quarter of an hour.
Maeve said as she dismounted.
And not a moment more.
The Queen sat in the shade of a large pear tree. She shut her eyes and listened to the chirping of crickets in the grass, savoring a rare moment of relaxation. But the calm did not last. Within moments, one of her scouts returned, a certain Sergeant Niedermere. Tears streamed down his weathered, scar-pocked face.
Lady? Come with us, please. You'll need to see this for yourself.
The sergeant led her to the still smouldering remains of a mill. Her soldiers were picking things out from the ashes. When she got closer, she realized in horror they were human skulls, some no larger than apples.
Tell the villagers to gather by the well,
the Queen said in a strained voice.
Or be executed.
The elves and dwarves attempted no denials. They admitted Eldane and his Scoia'tael had helped them round up all the humans in their village, march them into the mill, then set it aflame.
They stole our lands, defiled our names, beat us, murdered us in bloodthirsty pogroms,
shouted one of the dwarves.
They had it coming to them. Got their comeuppance, I'd say.
Maeve was no stranger to the cruelty of war, but the enormous evil she found in Iconfurt overwhelmed her. She felt a terrible weight on her chest, found it hard to draw breath, and her head spun. She felt she could hear the cries of humans being burned alive.
Ma'am,
whispered Reynard.
You must pronounce something.
Or simply turn the matter over to me, Your Grace.
Rayla interrupted.
I know what to do.
Do as you see fit,
Maeve said quietly, gaze fixed on the ground. The Queen snapped her reins and rode out of the village. She did not want to witness the bloody massacre of non-humans her soldiers were about to perpetrate. What she had seen at the mill already sufficed to keep her awake for many nights to come.
was that?
Meve asked Reynard, who rode beside her.
A scream. A man's, I think.
Need to investigate. Gather a few men and we ride. Quickly!
The screaming came from a small settlement. When Meve rode up to its farmhouses, her horse reared and neighed in terror. Necrophages swarmed all around. The monsters surrounded a few Nilfgaardians who were trying, with no success, to chase them off with torches. Reynard swept his gaze over the carnage and said,
"They cannot stave them off, and their armor is too heavy for them to flee."
Meve was uncertain at first how to act. But when she saw ghouls snatch one of the Nilfgaardians and rip him to shreds, she drew her sword.
No one deserves such a death. Not even a Nilfgaardian. Follow me! Lower your weapons! We're here to rescue you!
This could hurt.
Ha!
Why do you help us?
Thing about slings, they hide well. Hey?
Let the ghouls eat him, I say.
Silence! The Queen has made her decision. Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
If the ring won't come off, just take the whole finger.
Wait, you're serious?
Lower your weapons! We're here to rescue you!
Us or them, no other way!
Lower your weapons! We're here to rescue you! Ah!
And just when you thought things were about to get dull.
Why do you help us? We'll catch them all!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Let the ghouls eat him, I say.
Silent!
Tell me you jest.
Brach! Scheiß! In Trey!
here to rescue you!
chit-chat. Draw your weapon.
Let the ghouls eat him, I say.
Silence! The Queen has made her decision.
As ordered.
Discipline shall bring us victory.
Thing about slings, they hide well. Hey?
I smell a leak.
Here.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
Company! Forward march!
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
Sod it. Sod it all.
the white of an eye from half a league away.
Tell me you jest.
Get it to work.
Coin never stinks, no matter how rank the pouch.
Work, Your Grace. The monsters flee.
The Lyrians and the Nilfgaardians fought the monsters side by side, a united force. But when the last necrophage fell, the soldiers immediately returned to their respective divisions. Meave's soldiers looked at the invaders askance, uncertain what would happen next. Suddenly, one of the Nilfgaardians broke ranks and fell to his knees.
Your Grace, I know you have no reason to trust us, but we are not enemies. We hail from Geso, a land Nilfgaard conquered and made its province. We did not ask to fight in this war by force. We were conscripted.
The soldier hefted his sword by the blade and handed it, hilt first, to the Queen.
We yearned for a way to desert, and we have found it. Your Grace, allow us to join your army. We long for the Empire's defeat every bit as much as you do.
Meave helped the kneeling soldier to his feet.
The enemy of Nilfgaard is my friend, no matter who he is or whence he hail.
The Lyrians were clearly displeased with their queen's decision. The black-clad deserters from Geso would need to earn their trust.